Hey guys, welcome to the Young Blood Podcast. Unfortunately, to tell you guys some bad news, we did check in with a great show today for you, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened. We did move everything over to a new computer. We are using a new camera and a new, my workhorse of a computer versus the laptop to do all of the processing, since we are running multiple cameras and multiple mics all at the same time. There was a issue in this process, and I guess we fucked up. I don't know what happened, but there is some echoing during the duration of the show. It's not too bad, but, you know, it's not as good as the sound quality normally is, so I just had to do a little bit of a forewarning to you guys. But please enjoy. It was a great show. Brandon White kicked some fucking ass. He's going to have to come on again another time, and me and him are going to do this again. It was a blast. So thanks for tuning in. Enjoy.
Episode of the Young Blood Podcast. Again, for those of you looking me up, it's all one fucking word. Young Blood Podcast. Know the YOUNGBLOODPODCAST. Get it fucking right. We've got a hell of an episode today, guys. This is episode number 18. We've got our boy Brandon White.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
Brandon White on the line. He's doing pretty good, doing pretty killer.
Doing good.
Recovering from some COVID-19, but that's okay. That's what we're here to talk about. Real quick, we've got to pay some bills. We're going to talk about Treasure Valley Barbacoa. Treasure Valley Barbacoa is a local company handled by a local veteran. He's a guy you want to go to for a good haircut and an even better sweatshirt. Check him out, guys. He's over off of Shinden and Maple Grove in Garden City. That being said, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the good shit, the fun stuff. Brandon White is the manager, the man, the myth, and the legend behind the bar at the Reef Boise and the Brickyard and Front Door, right?
Mostly just the Front Door. I'm actually just the bartender at the Reef, but the head bartender at the Front Door. But I've worked through all of the Johnson's restaurants and bars. So
the Johnsons.
To those House Johnson. Just want to show respect to them. The best house to work for in Boise.
You know the Johnsons, Sailor Johnson, Sailor Johnny. No.
Sailor Johnny, yeah.
Sailor
Gets
Johnny.
me every time on Instagram. I fucking love it.
So, man, why don't you get into a little brief introduction, man? Tell me about who you are, what you do, and what you're about, man.
Man, I'm just like a free-spirited person, living in Boise from the south. Got a beautiful daughter. Just the average person just trying to figure out life on life's terms. Right on. Really got no other options but to kind of just roll with it.
Roll with it, exactly.
By the way, you mind if I spark my black and mild?
No, man, not at all. So, this episode's a little interesting today. I know everything with the COVID-19. We did a whole series on all that. We made it happen. So we try to veer away from that, but with the fact that it's never ending. It's going to be here no matter what we fucking do. It's hard not to talk about it.
It's here to stay, boys and girls.
It's here to stay, and the last major episode I had was with Jared Kissling, and the fucking guy called it, man. He absolutely...
What did he say?
We're going to shut back down.
Yeah.
He fucking called it to a T. And, this was, before it was pretty prominent that it was going to shut down. This is when everybody was still going out pretty hard, not
Right, yeah, just enjoying themselves. I mean, everyone's been on a little furlough for a few months. What do they want to do? They want to get out, enjoy themselves with, their friends, family, whoever. They just want to be out. But with that being said, you can't really trust the general population to do the right thing every time.
Right.
And, and that's what we got. That's where we're at right now, the second wave. So what they do, shut down the bars and clubs, which is totally unfair.
Let me ask you this. What's your opinion on them putting bars and nightclubs in the same category? I feel like there being a dance floor in a room kind of makes a big difference as far as an establishment, like maybe fucking...
Well, I feel like if you're going to add those two to the same category, then you might as well throw restaurants in there because you're having the same amount of people. You're still... I mean, there's so much contact going in. So I feel like it's not completely fair to the whole service industry. Restaurants are kind of getting by with it, and, I'm thankful for that because we're a restaurant/bar, but... the other bars and a lot of my friends who work downtown are totally just kind of fucked.
Right. Now, how much of your food and alcohol income or profit has to come from food in order to be called a restaurant? Do you know this?
You know, off the top of my head, I don't know, but if I had to give
I think it's 80. I think it's about 80%
guess,
of your income has to be because
there's
you.
no way.
Yep.
There's no
It's
way
a
because
fucking-
we don't even get 80% at the Front Door Reef.
Let's see, because I talked to Jared about this.
I know the numbers at the Front Door and Reef, and we do not get 80. We get most of our money from alcohol sales. I would say it's more like 60-40. 60% alcohol.
Which trips me out, because when Jared told me that number, so you know how Amsterdam got in trouble?
Yeah, I definitely know that.
They got in trouble because that exact thing, they weren't considered a restaurant because most of their income's from alcohol, you know. And
Well, they got in trouble for. that's not quite what happened. No, because we were supplying them with food, and they were going to open up as a restaurant. Unfortunately, everyone in that environment was so excited to be at Amsterdam. Why? Because it's a great place.
I went.
Yeah, of course. Why not? It's a wonderful atmosphere. It's a great place. But once everyone sat down at their tables, they just went back to the old ways. Like, oh, I saw my buddy. I'm going to go say hi. Why wouldn't you? You're in Amsterdam. That's what it is. Let me have a drink and go talk to my friends. It's a little tough for a place like that to try to fully go to a restaurant, an establishment, because like everyone's kind of grandfathered in. This is what to expect. I can have a drink at the bar, go see my friend, go talk to him, and that's kind of what happened. And of course, you're gonna have your Karens or Kens that are walking by, like, hey, those people are having too much fun downtown. Let me snap a picture and send this to Brad Little. And, that's probably what ended up happening. And it sucks for them because they're just trying to make it like everyone else. Like, hey, we have to continue moving forward or there's not going to be a downtown. There's not going to be that, that fun 6th and Main environment anymore if they don't allow us to go back to work. Unfortunately, we're kind of stuck in this weird limbo where it's like, well, where do we draw the line in the sand for the safety for the people?
I feel something that should kind of happen with everything going on is, how we have that super ridiculous liquor license rule?
Yep.
I feel like that should get some leniency. I feel liquor licenses might, because there's
What do you
people
mean?
opening bars and.
Are you talking about the liquor license, like if they
Availability.
can't renew it right now?
Like the availability of liquor licenses, I feel like that law should kind of get a little bit of.
Like the amounts of it, because like
Anything,
I agree,
like
the
the
amounts
amounts
is ridiculous.
Yeah, the amounts
my
they put
buddy-
out, it's by population, I think.
I don't know the guidelines by it, but I know my buddy's the owner of the Corona Village Mexican restaurant off of State, and he's trying to get his liquor license because it's a little Mexican restaurant. It's good, but he's trying to buy a used liquor license, and it's cost him $110,000. Like the average person just doesn't have that. And during this time in this crisis, the money they've had and they've saved up for maybe a liquor license, they've literally just spent on rent the last few months just trying to survive.
Right.
So.
Right. Dude, it's fucking crazy. We were talking about this with Jared. There was 250,000 people who moved here during the pandemic.
Not even shocked.
Right? And Camden works over at Ruth's, and, I just saw a post on Bartenders of Idaho yesterday. I think it was by Fern. She said, has anybody else noticed an excessive increase in out-of-state customers?
Yeah, you know what? And that's kind of funny because you're seeing a lot of rental properties that are available right now, but you're seeing a high amount of people coming to the state of Idaho. And a lot of my customers are just like, hey, all the bars in California or Florida are completely closed. So we're going to like Boise, Idaho, for instance.
And even if they're not
and
moving
just
here,
trying to party.
they're traveling.
Right, 100%. And unfortunately, that's what led us to us getting shut down again. It's these people that came in and just wanted to party because our bars are still open. And everyone ended up catching it. I ended up catching it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So when exactly did you get tested and find out that you got contracted with coronavirus? Was it during your initial opening back up? Was it before that? So do you think
it was like after like the first week or two of opening back up.
So clearly opening back up had a direct correlation with you getting COVID.
Yeah, but I say it's gonna happen eventually.
Because you were pretty fucking before the bars opening up, dude. let me ask you this much: how social distancing were you really fucking practicing? Like, how much? Not to the average person, maybe the first couple weeks, yes, but like, dude, I myself.
You know, I stocked up and I tried to do the whole thing for like 3 weeks, and then it just became like real hell. It's like it was really hard. So really, I would practice it, but any opportunity that I, had to meet up with some friends at the park or something like that, I would definitely do. They're like, hey, why don't you come out here? I'm like, fuck yeah, I need to get out of the house. So I did to a certain extent, as much as like the people around me did, but.
I mean, because I know for a fact, like myself, when everything was, I think like a week out from the bars coming back, the opening day, I think it was the 4th, and so those 2 weeks before the actual opening day, I personally had gone out and like found whatever experience I could find with my friends to go do.
Right.
If somebody said barbecue, I was there.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? And I didn't catch it. No, but none of my friends in that scene caught it. So it does kind of suck to see, like, the fact that even with all of our precautions, because I did go to the Reef. You guys practice amazing precautions.
Oh, yeah, we do a wonderful job.
You guys all have your masks on. You never slip them down. Everybody there is just on fucking
changing
point.
gloves all the time. On top of that, we're, checking everyone's temperature. They just put into place, signing the contracts. Like, if you have any symptoms, you need to, bring it up.
Full contract and everything, huh?
Oh, well, I don't know if that was given to everyone. It was given to me because I just came back from, the COVID.
Fair, yeah.
So that totally made sense. And it's just an extra precaution. I mean, if you look at what's happening with Barneys, it's a disaster. I'd be surprised if you didn't see 3 or 4 lawsuits happening. I mean, it's totally unfortunate. And one person's bad decision might have led to a lot of terrible things happening for that place. I mean, they're shut down for 30 days, and
yeah, we kind of brought that up a little bit. The day they were shutting down, the day before they were shutting down indefinitely was the day Jared came on the show. You heard 30 days?
Yeah, that's what I was told. I mean, basically,
through the grapevine.
Through the grapevine, one of their higher ups were telling people, come to work, or your job could be threatened by it. And they're like, well, I'm feeling a little sick, so it was kind of put in a position. And I've heard through the grapevine now. Granted, I haven't seen any of this information. Take it for what it is. But yeah, I heard there's text message evidence of someone telling someone, hey, if you don't come to work, you're basically fired. And during this time, I mean, yeah, and a lot of people caught it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I ate there before I had even got tested. I don't know if I caught it there or at my work or just general public. I don't know. I'd go to the bank, but that does definitely bring up some concerns, because I was like, oh, I literally sat at their bar and ate food. I'm like, well, if their kitchen staff had it and they're touching the plates, maybe that happened to me. I don't know. Someone made a terrible decision, and I hope nothing happens, but I think over the next couple of months we're gonna see some
numbers.
Yeah, we're gonna see some numbers, but we're gonna see a lot of same thing that Barbacoa's going through, or not Barbacoa, Barney. A lot of employees catching COVID and just being like, why was I even worried about coming to work or something? Why was that even in the question?
Right.
The good thing about the Reef, the Front Door, and Brickyard under the Johnsons, as soon as I even had a stuffed nose, they're like, no, go home. I was like, what does this even mean? And that's why.
Did you go back on unemployment with something like that happening?
Well, through this whole course, like, I haven't.
If they were to tell you to go home.
Well, yeah, they told me to go home. So, out of just a sense of job security, which I knew wasn't on the line at all, but I just wanted to have some sort of backing. Like, hey, I was feeling a little under the wind. I went and got tested, but I never felt sick, and then found out I actually had it.
Oh shit! Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that was a complete surprise. My father flew into town that night, and we had to fly him out of town the next morning, just because he's in that high risk, 65, older man. So that was unfortunate, but yeah, it was total shocking because I never felt sick. never caught a fever.
That's what the big thing is, man. Everybody seems to be asymptomatic, bro.
Right. I mean, the worst thing that happened to me is I lost my taste. After about 6 days, I genuinely got worried. I was like, is this going to be like forever? Then I got my taste back, but I still haven't fully got my smell back.
Right.
And I've already, I tested positive originally and then tested negative after I got tested again. But, the doctors, they don't know what to say. They're like, it could be a week, it could be a year. I'm like, the fuck does that mean, bud?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I need to know something, but they're, they don't know either. This is uncharted waters.
Very uncharted waters. And the thing that makes me nervous, man, I really think a lot of people who have had it got it in the past too, or like who haven't had it already had it back in like February.
Right, I've heard that too.
And what's weird is you don't know with this virus because everything seems to be repetitive. Like you can get it again, even if you have the antibodies, I guess. And there also may be a direct correlation with the amount of exposure you have to it,
right,
to how bad you get sick, which is weird.
Yeah, I've heard that too. The CDH is pretty thorough with all the information they give me and the guidelines I needed to follow. They're calling me, 2 to 3 times a day. Like,
right,
hey, if you stayed at home, you didn't go here or there. I even checked my bank statement to give them certain places that I've gone, like, oh, I went to the bank this day, the grocery store, normal
right,
stuff. So it was a little different with their guidelines and how you kind of went about that.
right. But so at the end of the day, right now you guys are still open.
Mm-hmm.
You got all 3 of your restaurants for the Johnson family fucking open, right?
No, all 5.
5,
because
excuse
they
me.
own
Oh, yeah,
Bricks downstate and then Legends by the mall.
Wait, which one on state?
Bricks.
I've never I didn't know that. That's
Dude,
a whole nother.
awesome sports bar. Is it's got like
When did they buy
30
that?
TVs. Well, I believe they went in partnership with I think it's Chad's brother or maybe Chrissy's sister.
Dude, you know who's kicking himself in the teeth right now?
Me for saying that.
Ted Challenger for selling tailgate because all of his bars are shut down, but the only thing he could have kept open was the sports bar.
Yeah.
The only thing he could have kept money on was his sports bar. If he would have just kept with it, hopefully he's not listening. Who knows? If he would have just kept with it for like 2 more fucking years. Nah, dude, Ted don't listen to this shit.
No, but a lot of his employees do.
Yep. that I can
that
say
trickles
is true.
down the line.
I mean, hey, I worked at Tailgate, man. That's one thing I can say. He's probably kind of like, damn, I shouldn't have fucking sold that.
That, honestly, though, that location is like the worst location. It's been, it's, 6 different restaurants?
I mean, I don't know if you can go throw some axes right now.
Now they got an axe right now that you can throw at a wall. I'm like, it seems like a cool idea. But
I mean, when all you can do is go bowling, maybe that is pretty fucking fun.
yeah, it's crazy. My friend's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing a podcast. They're like, we're bowling. I was like, who the fuck even bowls anymore, dude? I haven't done that in years, man.
So they're laughing over there because we went bowling 2 nights ago.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was pissed because I didn't have my bowling balls with me.
You got bowling balls?
Yeah, I got 2. I got a
so
spare
you're
ball.
legit.
I got a strike ball
You're
and a spare
legit.
ball.
Oh, damn. This shit just got real.
I played League when I was little. My brother
League.
plays League. Fucking, yeah, dude.
Man, that's intense.
You spend more money than you make. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's one of those
And you
sports.
fucking, dude, you know what a pro bowler makes in their lifetime?
Maybe 23,000.
Not enough to pay for bowling.
Yeah.
$20 an hour at
Yeah.
that place, bro. That don't cover it, dog.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
But that's all there is to do, bro. There's just
What's
bowling.
that movie with
Big Lebowski.
No, not that. A great one.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, and he's dating Jennifer, but they're on the bowling team together. It's called The Breakup.
Dude, that is
Called
so
The Breakup.
funny. That movie
And
is the
they
shit.
go in, and they just broke up, and she's like, "Yeah, you're not part of the team." And they're like, "Yeah, we're actually gonna need that shirt back." He's like, "It has my name on it." They're like, "Well, we actually know another Steve, and he's about the same size." So he's like, just takes it off in the middle of
Walks
the
out
bowling. He's
shirtless,
like, "Yeah,
yeah.
fuck this."
Dude, that movie is the funniest fucking movie, bro. unless you're going through a breakup and your ex, like,
Dude,
you
it's
share,
like,
listen,
yeah.
you know, it's funny if you, like, share Netflix with your girl and you guys haven't really broken up yet, and they, like, watch that movie and you see recently watched, you're like, I feel you. Whatever.
Yeah, you're
Fuck
like,
you too.
I get it. I get it. Same page.
Passive aggressively trying to send a message through watching a movie.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's gonna see what I watched last night.
Yeah, she's
Fucking
gonna see
asshole.
recently watched and be like,
He's gonna watch that shit. I know it.
get a little.
Camden, we're fired. Thank you. We're back.
All right. No countdown. We're just going into it. Fuck it. Roll Tide.
Dude, well, you know, I don't know if Joe Rogan does like a one fucking run every time.
How often do you watch it?
Often.
Oh, I love it.
Often,
love
dude.
it.
I try to watch his show once, like, the day that it come out.
Yeah, yeah,
Just because it's not just the podcast. He tries to cover really relevant shit. And being somebody who runs a podcast, like, I already liked his show before. But now that I have my own show, now that I have a podcast, like, my own, like, personal fucking, like, empathy for people has grown. My actual, like, I genuinely care about situations more. I watch the news more often. I stay more updated on shit. I feel like just a better human being as a whole, or like a more stand-up citizen, you know, because
Yeah, I
there's things
think,
that I gotta do to have a show. Like,
As the younger generation says, I guess we're more woke now.
right. Well, dude, I'm fucking, like I was telling you before the show, bro. This is episode 18. Dog.
Yeah, that's pretty intense,
Of
man.
the
Even think
second
about
season.
all the work you've like put into it. Like, you know, everyone like has those Hail Mary dreams where they're like, oh man, I'd love to do this, but to see like the work you put in, it's actually, you know.
Took me how long to set up for your show today?
Yeah,
Fucking,
yeah,
like 2 hours.
Right,
bro?
right, yeah. It's like the real deal, you know. You see all the effort you're putting into this, and you're like, all right, this is not a dream anymore. This is more like, you know, an
Somebody
ambition.
said
This
that
is a goal.
there's
This
one
is-
motherfucker out there watching this show
Right.
that you don't know that just genuinely fucking came up on this, saw it, and was like, alright, this is dope. And I think it was Rondell from Amsterdam. You know the old battle.
Oh, so this actually happened.
He was on the show. He said this to me on the show. Yeah, he was on with Blaze Alpha and Rondell Grant McNair. I think it was episode number like 8 or 9. They were on. We talked about all kinds of shit, and I also had Safe on the show too. But they were like, dude, there's one motherfucker, bro, listening out there. Keep fucking doing it for that fucking guy, dude.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
gives a fuck if you got more? But dude, there's one fucking guy that genuinely finds this shit dope. Hayden Midkiff, where you at? It's my buddy who's watched since day one, but I always call him out in every episode in some
I
part of the
dig
show.
it, dig it.
Yeah,
you know,
and
gotta go
fucking-
back to your roots.
Yeah, bro, and I swear to God, man, what they said resonated with me because I was like, fuck, dude. Now I owe people this. Like, it's like I started
Right,
this.
yeah.
It's like, and the whole premise behind the show is this is a Boise-based podcast for locals only, and that's our thing. Keep Boise kind. That's everything that we're about here. You know, and
What do you think about everyone moving into Boise since we're gonna step into the locals?
so I'm a
only?
weird case, bro. I'm an immigrant, you know, from here. You know, I'm an immigrant to Idaho.
Yeah,
How they call it?
I'm an
And-
Idaho native.
Yeah,
as you
Iowa
can tell.
native, as your shirt says.
Yeah, I was just trying to fit in. This really cool dude had a sweet beard, was trying to sell me a shirt at the hot dog stand after a solid night of 6 in Maine. And I was waiting for my Uber, and I was like, yeah, man, I got about 7 minutes till this Uber comes in. If you can run back to your car and get me the shirt, I'll give you the change from this 20. I just bought a hot dog, you know? And he's like, fucking done.
Done, dude.
And I'm literally getting into the Uber, got a huge hot dog, and dude, I see him running down 6th Street. He's like, I got the shirt. I'm like, fuck yeah. Took it off right then, and apparently he's like pretty well known in this area. I forget his name, but everyone knows who makes this shirt, except for me, I guess.
I don't know, fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a good person to call it up if you can figure it out, man. It's on the show. So we see Iowa native. They're downtown. Fucking find them somewhere. You can take a look.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the whole premise it's of Idaho, and like you said, people moving to Idaho. I'm not really native. Like I wasn't born here. I spent 15, 16 years of my life growing up in Hollywood, fucking North Hollywood, Burbank, California. Like,
How long you been out here?
10 years. But
Solid time. Solid time.
But my fucking mom and dad are both natives. They moved to LA, couldn't make it happen, came back. You know, but during the time they were there, they had a kid and raised me. But
Right.
you know, so my mom and dad both met their senior year at Boise fucking State and got married. Like that,
Oh,
there's
that's
nothing more
pretty
Boise than that, bro.
Right, yeah. That's legit. That's a real deal. I guess how we came out here is my dad kind of planted that seed for us. He grew up out here, went to Boise State, and then we kind of all trickled out here. But I guess you could say, like, my dad's side of the family's natives were second generation natives to Boise. But it definitely feels like home. Love it out here.
But to answer your question, how do I feel about the people moving here?
Yeah,
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm from California, but I hate California. It's like when I first moved here, bro, people were so
Is
fucking
it like
mean, dog.
the new age Californians that are like
No,
just
they're all.
moving
It's the
in?
same motherfuckers, dude. All
The
the
same?
same motherfuckers who've been moving here from day goddamn one, where they moved.
I
in the
met
first
some
thing,
cool people from California, but
Yeah,
these
but
like
what's
new
the first thing
pompous
they all fucking
assholes. I'm
say?
like, well, what the
I'm
fuck?
from Cali, bro. I'm from California, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not how it is in Cali, bro.
It's not how
That's
it is
the
in
first
LA.
thing.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean, bud?
That's the first
You're
thing.
a white dude from the suburbs in LA, you know?
First thing that I learned in the most fucking inappropriate ways, too. It wasn't easy for me to get taught this lesson. Was people from Idaho don't like Californians, bro.
Oh yeah, I've learned that too, because even people in my restaurant, they're like, where's that accent from? And I'll have like, I want to say 6 out of 10 people be like, oh, I bet it's from California. I'm like, really? Does it sound like I'm from California, bud? Like, figure it out. But that's like everyone's guess. Oh, you're from out of town. You're from California. Like, I already don't like you.
Says you're from California? What the fuck? Dude, you're so southern. What
Yeah,
the
I've heard
fuck?
it a few times, man.
Ole Miss, like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I could tell the first time I met you, I was like, Jesus, you're not from California.
Yeah, where the fuck are you from, bud?
I know, dude. So 250,000 of people, and this is not an exact number in any way, shape, or form by any means. Like, I think I was taking a taxi and the guy was telling me that, or an Uber. He was like, yeah, 250,000 people moved here.
That seems ridiculously high.
But that's the thing.
But if that's actually true, like, holy shit.
Yeah, man. Through the grapevine, guys, you know, if Camden wanted to look that one up, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah. How many people have moved?
Suspected amount of people to move to Idaho. In
What was the population this time last year? And 2018. And then what's the population this time? Because I guarantee it's booming. I mean, every street I drive down, I see a new apartment complex. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
man,
dude, tell me about that. Yeah.
This reminds me of like the area I grew up in when I was growing up. Beautiful city, and it really was. And then it just started booming. Everyone wanted to move to Woodside, Georgia, like Town Lake area. It's like north suburbs of Atlanta. By the time I left, it's just it had blown up. It's still beautiful, but when everything gets bigger, you're gonna attract the crime too. And you saw a high increase in crime and stuff like that, and I fear that's what Boise's going to come to in the next couple of years. Like, yeah, everyone wants to live here because it's beautiful. And
Look at the situation with Barbacoa.
What situation?
Their owner having that accident.
Oh, yeah. The accident.
Crime in this town is just going up.
What was the deal? Like, I've heard like 7 different stories. Like, he was part of some stuff, or he might have not been part of some stuff, and then I heard it was an accident, but doesn't sound like an accident.
The only thing I can say, and we're going to talk about it off podcast, is due to family, it was an accident. There was an accident that happened at his house, and Robert had passed away.
Enough said. We won't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's an accident at the house.
Yeah.
And,
sounds like an accident to me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he was an owner of a very reputable restaurant here in town.
How do you think it's going to end up with the son taking over? Son,
The thing is, he's taking over ownership, not management.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
There's the guy in the kitchen there who runs the entire show.
Right,
He
no, I
runs
get that. I get that, but
he opened it with Robert, the guy in the kitchen.
Okay.
So he they've been together 20 fucking years. Like that restaurant's his. And the kid might take part in the ownership, doesn't take part in the running the show. Like that place is run a certain way. It runs like clockwork and always has.
Fair enough.
And it's gonna keep going on that clock.
When push comes down to shove, and eventually I feel like, you know, it will, because, you know, you're going to have to deal with that, you know, dealing with the new person that's technically an owner. Is he going to be like, you know, is he going to be like, hey, bud, well, you get the fuck out. This is my place. This is my,
changes things, yeah.
And not even think about, like, oh, he's put his whole life into this, you know. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's pretty.
But I heard, that being said, you're totally right. Things very much have a chance of spilling off into some other direction with the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But if they continue on the path that they've stayed on all these times, for years,
yeah, hypothetically,
if they keep their formula going, there's no reason why they shouldn't be okay.
You're absolutely right.
You know, but
the formula's
changed
right.
Slightly. Yeah, the formula might change. I personally think Robert did such a good job at just fucking nailing that place down.
Yeah.
You know, and he was really only there just to have his presence.
Right. It was more of like, yeah, his persona, him being there is just like enough.
Yeah. I think
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that and the whole culture of downtown. I mean, if you look at it, there's so many different there's so many different things that are happening downtown. You're just like, you know, the whole aspect of downtown might completely change. I mean, right before the whole COVID thing, you got to think like
you can open a bar down there and make money no problem.
I mean, what's that new place that opened up above Pie Hole on? Karma. They did a wonderful job on that remodel. I mean, I went in there and I felt totally comfortable.
Phenomenal.
I loved it. Yeah. Had a little. Yeah, I went to it before.
Compared to Ted's remodel of Strangelove.
Oh my God, that's like, I mean, you know.
They ran out a whole nother upper
Ted
floor.
Ted did a good job because he resurfaced the place. He didn't remodel.
Yeah,
so
it was.
He repainted it. We added new floors, same floor plan.
New couches, new paint.
He updated it.
Yeah,
Karma
broke
down a wall, added a whole nother side.
I know. I was expecting so much
changed
more
the layout.
than a $100,000 glass Christmas tree. I really was. Hate to say it, but I was expecting more than that. It was the same place, new couches.
You never worked for him. I worked for him. Once already hates me enough, so I can't get away with saying.
I do. I love their establishments. I have so much respect for like Munson, and I like everything about them, and we work with them. But I was expecting a little bit more. I mean, I saw the place, you know, when I first came up here in 2010, and when it went through their stages of like everything that happened. I don't need to bring it up. You can Google it. And when they started remodeling everything, I'm like, oh my God, you know, I heard about everything they're doing. They're making it more upscale, like trying to get out the riffraff, and I was like, yes, this is what we need. And then after the first month, it kind of went back to the same stuff, and I'm like, you know what? What are we even doing now? And now the parking lot behind them is going to turn into like, I've heard, you know, a couple different scenarios, but what I've heard, which is guaranteed, is on the backside, it's going to be low-income housing. Then it's like, why would we even try to redo all of our sidewalks, all of our alleys? Why are we trying to make 6th and Main the heart of, you know, the Boise?
Entertainment.
Right, and then
Boise, yeah.
Throw that in there.
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. But yeah, back to the Strange Love thing, you know. Yeah, the new couches are nice.
Not a fan of the Christmas tree, though.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the bars and the bathrooms. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? I'm trying to take a poo.
Hey, you know why? They spent all their time in the women's bathroom.
No, I get it. No,
they did. They spent all their time.
They made sense. It makes sense.
But all I'm thinking is they could have at least, like, taken out a wall, added a wall. None of that happened. There was no redesign. It was everything was just renovated. The couches were updated.
They just took out the old leather.
Versus, I hate to give Karma so much credit, but dude, they did a good.
Oh, Karma did wonderful. I mean, I was expecting.
They added new fucking booths. They knocked out the whole place.
Every time I walked in that, what was it called before?
Fucking fatties.
Fucking fatties. Yeah. Every time I walked in there, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a terrible time.
Dude, I shit you not. You want to hear about fatties? There's an advertisement on the internet about fatties where it literally said something about the crowd that Fatty's, how it was a bad
Damn,
game.
we
They're
haven't
like,
heard the
oh, I don't want to go down to Fatty's, la da da da. And they're like, no, Fatty's is a good time. And I was like, what the fuck is this commercial? I'm butchering the actual words. It was literally
a good time.
They literally like
I'll be
in the
the judge of
commercial
that.
they had
It's a good
clearly
time for a bad time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you're looking for a bad time downtown, you go to Fatty's.
yeah.
You just know you're gonna find some shit there.
Yeah, it was like the downstairs of China Blue, man, but all in one place.
Jesus.
For real,
Yeah.
bro.
Dude, I'm so happy. Yeah, Karma, like, when I walked in there, I was like, yeah, I'm expecting to see, like, a turd wrapped in, like, gold flake. Like, I was not expecting to see what I saw. Like, I walked in, I was actually, like, fully surprised what's happening. I'm like, dude, this place looks fucking great. Like, I can go over here and shake a stick at trying to dance, or I could come over here, like, go in the lounge area, and there's, like, actually, like, cool places, like, when I walked in there, I saw a lot of girls like taking pictures and selfies. I'm like, all right, this is legit. It attracts the right crowd.
Dude, you know,
Seems right.
You know what's hilarious? There's more pictures taken in front of that girls $200 neon sign than Ted's $200,000 Christmas tree.
That you can't touch. They have like security guards. Like, I stood by it for I guess too long, and someone's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. Texting someone." It's like, well, you can't touch that. I'm like, no shit, dude. I wouldn't try to reach over the railing and touch your 30-foot glass Christmas tree.
It was his first day, bro. Well, the thing is, you touched one.
I've heard rumors of like how much this cost. I've heard it's like
$250,000.
No, I heard it was like 100,000.
It's all kinds of numbers. You just don't know their actual.
But
price.
Realistically,
I think he wants everybody to think it's worth that much.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Like,
you got one of
there's-
his friends like did it for
Well, the
free.
reason
It's
it's-
like, hey, it'll be the centerpiece of Strange Love. Just do it for free. And
Well,
I'll
the reason
say
it's
it's
worth
like
so
$1
much
million.
money, supposedly, is because it's the artist who made it, not because the actual.
Who is the artist?
I don't fucking know.
No one fucking knows.
Okay.
There's not even
No,
a sign.
like I was with somebody one night when
They
they were
knew?
selling it, and before they didn't know anybody from the bars. It was none of my guys from the industry. They walked by and they're like, "Did you know what that is?" And I was like, "No." They're
It's
like,
a fucking
"Dude."
Mona Lisa.
And they dropped it by name. Like, no, that's worth a fucking. That's so. I was like, what do you mean? They're like, no, dude, it's by this artist. It's the only guy who makes it. And I was like, I don't fucking know.
The whole
man.
thing looks legit, but I'm like, hey, if you're really gonna throw in $100,000 for the last Christmas tree, knock down a couple walls and see what happens.
I bet he
man.
just wishes he bought a new boat.
Yeah, well, he's got a fat ass new truck and it looks fabulous. Like,
What kind of truck?
I think I saw it was like a
Yeah,
I want to say a Ford,
Land Rover
a Ford like 250, maybe a Chevy 2500. It's definitely diesel. I mean, if you look at it, you're easily on the low end looking at like a $40,000-$50,000 truck. But knowing Ted, you're probably checking out a cool $80,000 truck.
How long do you think? Oh, Jesus, keeping this fucking tripod. How long do you think this whole third stage get knocked back in is gonna be?
I think we'll open back up on like the 10th or the 14th of July.
Hey Cam, you wanna grab some of the JMO?
Yeah.
Two, please. For me and you, Camden.
No, I'll take one too.
Oh, I was trying not to say that.
No, it's totally
Okay,
cool.
no,
I was
no,
just
no.
like, trying to whisper like, I gotta pee. Since you're taking a JMO shot, but I guess we'll just run with it.
We'll run with it. Camden can pause it. You can pee.
No, it's cool. It's like the new iPhone. Apparently, you can put it in water. So I'm sure Jameson is fine.
Just sanitizing it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hi Anna, how are you doing? So we got some spectator. What the hell, Camden? That's kind of a half shot. All right, boys. So
Complain about my
are you ready? Jesus.
Complain about my
Well, if you're gonna top him off, top me off too, man.
Yes, sir. We're drinking Jameson.
Irish whiskey.
Podcast.
The Irish they've never really done anything
Please
wrong
sponsor me. Please sponsor me. You know what
You probably get proper 12 to sponsor you, man.
Dude, I have one sponsor, Treasure Valley Barbecue.
Yeah?
Cheers, boys.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't see you have a
that's
fork.
sweet.
Cool. Hell yeah. Thanks, Cam. I'm glad you did that.
That was legit. Hey, can we get a little time out real quick?
Yeah, pause it. We are back from a break, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We had to pee, and sometimes you do too.
It was mostly me. I apologize.
Oh, no, dude, I let it go like the fucking...
It's the whiskey,
floodgates.
Jameson. For some reason, Irish whiskey just makes me gotta pee, I guess.
So let me ask you this, man. So far,
Yep.
the whole experience, what do you think?
Yeah, the whole experience is like, it's exciting. I'm not even gonna lie. Just to go back to like, when I first walked in, I was like, oh, cool vibes. Like, let's do this. And then, you put on the headphones, you do the sound check, you start looking in the cameras, you start looking at the lights. You're like, oh shit, what am I gonna talk about? You're like, I should have prepared a little bit for this, You just kind of winged it like you do everything else, which typically pays off for me. But I've done other podcasts, and I walked in, like I said before, I've walked in, I was like, this is cool. Not. I walked into this one, I'm like, all right, this is what I was expecting,
Fuck yeah, this is what you wanted to walk into.
Yeah, this is what I was ready for. I was like, all right, now we're here, and let's fucking do this. No, so I was like, yeah, I was a little shocked, honestly. I was not prepared to like come into this and see your setup like this, so thoroughly enjoy it.
Thanks, man.
I
have a lot of
gives
passion.
a different respect to the whole process, just because if you look at anything, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
It's fucking
Okay.
not either, bro.
It's not.
It's
okay?
not fucking
You
easy,
see the process
bro.
and everything, and even an outside perspective, she might be sitting there, right, just looking and just be like, oh, they're just talking into the microphone, which I fully understand. She realizes everything you guys put into this, but, hypothetically, an outsider looking in, like, oh, a couple cameras, a couple microphones, I could spend that at the pawn shop. It's like, no. There's so much more that goes into this. So, I'm glad you are following your passion. Totally respect it on a different level, seeing the setup. Thoroughly enjoyed being invited here, and we'll see where the rest of this conversation goes.
I'll tell you what, I've honestly put, I appreciate you saying that, it means the fucking world, bro. I put a lot of, not just time and physical dollars, but a lot of, like, passion.
How did you even get into this?
Start.
I gotta know this. Like, all right, was it like, all right, so when I did this in South Florida for a little bit, it never came to what this is now. But I saw a couple podcasts. I'm like, well, I talked to a few people. I'm kind of funny when I talk to them. Most of the time it's because we're drunk, but, they still gave me good laughs. And I was like, oh, I can do this. And, I lost the wind in my sail after a while, and I stopped. But, you've obviously passed the first couple walls of starting something new.
Yeah, it was hard.
Like what even inspired you to do this, and what gave you that second wind? Because if you're thoroughly gonna like follow something, a passion, all right, the first one is easy. It's exciting. It's something new.
Right.
I'm challenging myself. Let me see where this goes, right? But to pass that second wind,
Bro.
that's something special. So
I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
What happened? So I tell people all the time, I started the first series of this whole thing, and basically, I saw this fucking show with a quote that said, nobody gives a fuck about what you're going to do, but what you've already done. And that resonated with me.
Hold on, say that quote again. Oh, I keep doing
Nobody
this.
gives a fuck about what you're going to do, but what you've already done.
Hold on, so you're saying unless it's basically, in lamest terms, unless your name's in the history books, like no one gives a fuck. Like,
Nah, dude, nobody gives a shit about what you're gonna fucking do. Don't tell me, hey, I'm working on this right now. I'm gonna do this.
oh, like talk's cheap.
I'm gonna start a
Talk's cheap.
podcast, and something I had been doing is saying, I'm gonna start a podcast. I'm gonna start a podcast. Fucking, I'm gonna start a podcast. And I've been saying that to people.
But
to
did
myself.
you do that and follow like the law of attraction? Like I'm gonna do this, and then it happened.
In a way, yeah, but basically in my story, the way that I started this is, I had been telling people I have a real passion for stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I write stand-up comedy. I haven't had the
It's hard to
opportunity.
do.
It is. I write a lot of it too, And right now, I'm trying to become a stand-up comic one day. That is what I aspire to. So this podcast, this podcast is literally the gateway to that for me. And because if you know anything about stand-up comedy, you know every fucking good comedian, they got a podcast, motherfucker.
Yeah.
They talk in the mic. It is something you have to get comfortable with.
Oh, 100%. You have to be comfortable talking in front of the mic,
Yeah.
and you have
so
to
that
be
led me.
comfortable talking in front of people.
And so that led me to basically a major passion for podcasts. And I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. I listen to podcasts all the time. And genuinely saying podcasts changed my life. So I had been telling people at this time, tighten that screw on the side. I had been telling people at this time, I want to fucking start a podcast. I want to do this. Blah, 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 blah. And basically, I saw that fucking episode of that show and I heard that.
Right.
And this is right after the first couple days of quarantine. And I was like, I heard that in my head and I was like, fuck. I've been telling people I'm going to start a goddamn podcast. I was like, you know what? God damn it.
Right.
I say I'm going to fucking do it. Nobody fucking cares, bro. Do it. Tell people then. And then what I did from there is I didn't advertise this podcast on any social media for the first couple months of me doing it. Of any of my social media. You know why?
Would you run a couple shows and then just see
I
how
ran
it played
a
out?
whole entire season without telling a single person on my Instagram, on my Facebook, anywhere that I'm running a
bold
podcast.
move, Colin.
You know why? I wanted to get comfortable, and you know what I ran it on?
What?
COVID-19, motherfucker. It was the first week of fucking quarantine. All I did was it was a video vlog series and recorded it through a mic about COVID-19. What was going on, and so you know how they had that video of all the people in Italy showing their first 10 days of quarantine and then asking us to stay inside?
Yeah.
I did the same thing just because all we could do at the time, they said, hey, what can we do to help? This was one of the things that people were doing to help, was documenting what was going on for their story. So I was documenting at the time my Idaho quarantine, what they were putting us through, all of our shit shutting down through a podcast. And I did that for about 10, 11 episodes.
Right.
And then the YoungBloodPodcast was born.
I can dig that.
I gave it a
Absolutely.
fucking trial run in
just
my
fucking
parents'
run.
attic, dog.
Yeah,
because
yeah, I dig
it was
that.
the first week. I was still living in this apartment, but I went and stayed with my fucking parents, bro. Because I was like, fuck this, dude. Quarantine? I'm going to go kick with mom and dad, dude.
Yeah, I
like,
tried to, but my parents were in Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck,
You
that's
could
a
have
little
if you would have,
far.
right? You could have if you would have. And I
Yeah.
could have. So I was like, hey, dude.
Why not?
I'm a
Why
busy
not?
guy.
Yeah,
I
dude.
never have time to spend with my parents. And
If
this
I'm,
was an
if I'm
opportunity.
stuck like this, dude, I haven't had a summer vacation since what, high school? And guess what I did on summer vacation? Chilled at my fucking parents' house because I was in high school. All right, I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I don't blame you for doing that, man.
Right.
I wish I had that option.
If it wasn't for the stupid COVID-19 pandemic, whatever, if it wasn't for this whole
Now-
situation, I don't think this would have ever been born.
Yeah. Okay. I can dig that, and I can respect that.
100%.
Now, all right, so this is what you did during COVID, and I thoroughly enjoy you following your passion. And what I did during COVID, first quarantine, so we're talking like the first like month and a half to 2 months that everyone I feel like was locked down. So my neighbor is an avid mountain biker.
Word.
And I'm like, yo,
So is Camden.
yeah, I've ridden some bicycles in my day.
Which
you
you
know?
just bought a new bike.
Yeah, I did. And I'm definitely, yeah, you gotta hear this. All right, so I get this guy on Facebook to build me a custom bike. You know, got a GT frame and put some nice rock shocks on there, good tires, rims, some disc brakes. So it's they call it a hardtail. I'm still new to this whole thing, right? So I got this bike and I was like, dude, this is fucking badass. Like I feel like a badass riding it.
You feel like a god
Yeah.
riding a set
like,
mountain
dude,
bike. You just feel like
My
you could take on
tires. I'm riding up here like, you know, I'm going by everyone. I'm like, dude, I'm solid, you know.
Camden's got himself a real nice bike, right? Camden, he's
I
fucking.
do. I have
he
a full
bikes.
suspension giant right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
He fucking bike.
See, yeah,
27
you're in
inch
it like
tires,
my
I'm-
friend Nick. You know Naz's boyfriend,
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah, dude, he's a badass at this mountain bike and shit. I mean, he has a downhill bike, and I'm sure he has a few others, but he kind of like got me into it. But anyway, so I got this bike, and I'm like so excited. And my neighbor sees it. He's like, "Oh, dude, you finally got your bike." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah." He's like, "Well, let's go on a ride." I'm like, "All right, I'm down." But I just want to let you know, like, I'm like kind of a beginner. And I say that because I haven't really rode a bike on trails since I was a kid, you know? Like, hey, I'm a beginner. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm going to take you down a moderate trail." I'm like, "Okay, sounds legit." He's like, "Be outside in 10 minutes. I'm like, "Okay." I go outside. I'm on my bicycle. I got basketball shorts on and t-shirt. Kind of like how I am now, right? He comes out, a helmet. He's got a fucking visor, glasses, fucking gloves, a water pack. Like, he looks legit. Like, I'm looking at him. I said, "Hey, man, you think I need a helmet or something?" He's like, "No, you should be fine. It's like a real moderate trail." I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "I'm kind of a beginner." And when I say that, I mean it. I'm really a beginner.
This is my first ride.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it's been like 12 years since I've been on a fucking bicycle.
Last time
He's
I rode a
like-
bike was in elementary school.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, like, we start riding, and, like, instantly I knew, like, my grips, my hands were sweating, I was nervous, and my grips were, like, they're legit grips. So my hands were already getting raw in the first, like, 10 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, this is not a good sign." Mind you, we go up behind Camel's Back. 55 minutes later, I'm on a steady incline the whole time. I've almost passed out twice. I've had to get off my bike and literally walk it up a hill. I had, you know, old women are passing me by. I'm fully not prepared for this, out of shape. Shouldn't have been there. Way in over my head. Mind you, we're still working on our way up. We still have to come down this fucking mountain, boys and girls. Oh my God. So we get to the top, and I'm like, "Oh, thank God I can breathe." For like 5 or 10 minutes. He's like, "Almost lost you. You got a great pace. You're doing good." I'm like, "Okay." I can't even breathe. So he literally looks at me, and my neighbor says, "Hey, man, this is the fun part." I'm like, "Fuck. I can't wait, because this has been fucking hell." He goes, it's downhill, so we're going to go like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" No, I'm not going to do any of that.
You're riding the brakes the
Right?
whole time.
And so I'm like at the top of the mountain. There's like 4 other people there, and everyone's staging off to go down this downhill. And I'm like, dude, I'm way in over my head. I should definitely have a helmet at least. Like, this is stupid. My neighbor's an asshole. He's been doing this for 20 years. This is my first time on the fucking mountain
Dude, that's
bike.
not anybody who snowboards. They do the same thing. Hi, you're
Right?
good.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Right? So I look at
You got
him.
it. You're good.
Yeah, you'll be fine, dude.
All you gotta do is go down.
I said, yeah. I'm like, "Do I need a helmet?" He's like, "You'll be good." I'm like, "All right." So we're positioning our bikes, right? And I see him. He's like, "I'm going to go down, and then you just follow." I'm like, "That's kind of what I've been fucking doing the whole time, bud, trying to catch up. Because I don't even know where we're at. We're in the foothills. We're like by the tree line above 8th Street, like way up there. And so I see him position his bike a little bit to the left. And I'm like, maybe I should wait and then position my bike in his spot. But I'm like, no, he would have told me. No. He thought I fucking knew. Because I've been up there a million fucking times, right? This is not my first time. Actually, it is my first time. Right? So, we start... He goes down, and, you know, he just drills it. It looks beautiful. Like, I don't even know how to
Like
describe
Cam do
it.
when he snowboards.
Yeah, it just looks natural. Like, he's just hitting it and hit the turn, he's gone. I'm like, all right, well, fucking let me hit it. So I hit it, and I'm going down. I hit the turn, and the front tire just kind of goes off the trail.
Oh, shit.
And my whole body and the bike follow that trajectory. We go off the side of the mountain, dude.
Oh, shit.
Dude, my elbow, my knee, everything's bleeding. Mind you, he's like, I don't know, a good minute in front of me. I gotta carry my bike up to the trail. I'm like barely making it. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Why'd you fucking do this, dude? Like, you're too old for this bullshit. And so, like, mind you, I went down the drop and made it maybe 10 feet. So everyone behind us was just like, they're trying to act like they didn't see it. They're like, and I'm like, just hopping back on my bike. I gotta fix the tire. I'm like, just trying to straighten it out. I'm like, hop on. Finally catch up to him. He's like, dude, what took you so long? I'm like bleeding. I'm like, I'm good.
Nothing,
like,
bro.
Nothing fucking
Technical
happened.
difficulties, dog. Like, come on.
I didn't get on my bike for another 3 weeks after that fall, dude. It was so bad.
I have yet to cross over into the realm of the mountain biking because I'm a fixie rider.
It's dangerous.
Did you see my bike when you walked in?
Dangerous. I saw like 12 bikes when I walked in.
You were drunk, sir.
No, I didn't drink until I got here.
Oh yeah, there's a picture.
There's like.
Oh no, my bike in the doorway, dog. Right inside the house.
Oh no.
There's a bike right inside. I had a bike stolen right outside there before.
Yeah, if it's a good bike, yeah, it's gonna be.
My shit got it was a motorbike. It was like a nice fixie with a fucking engine on it, bro.
Oh,
Super dope, dude. That thing, ask Canada. That thing was fucking.
That thing was prime.
It was the coolest. You know how you see those kids with the DUIs? Those like sketchy, like fucking weird dudes that are riding on the side of the road with like an engine bike.
No.
All the time you're like, that guy's got a
They
DUI.
pedal like twice and just go for 30 miles.
Well, you're like, the guy's riding it, you always hear like some weird motherfucker. Like,
Right.
Jesus, what the
It
fuck?
went
Like,
faster
what are you
than my
that you?
scooter.
No, yeah, so I had they always have them on like some beach cruiser, some like wannabe Harley looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had an engine kit on a fixie. It was a fixie, but it had an engine on it, dude. This thing fucking went like 25,
What, like
30
30
miles an hour.
cc's or what?
50cc engine on it, bro.
Oh, yeah, like a little pit bike, yeah.
Bro, it was
Legit,
dope. It was
legit.
fucking dope.
What happened to it?
Got yacked, bro.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
straight stole it out of my fucking house. I was so mad.
It's a cruel world out there.
But no, so I was bringing that up because you were talking about bikes and I had a DUI. You know, people who get a DUI usually generally
Apparently in Boise, if you're gonna be a bartender
you
downtown,
might have one or two.
well, I just found this out about 2 years ago. You're not technically allowed to be a bartender without a DUI. Apparently, I was given one, and they're like, "This is due to you. You're a bartender downtown. This is obligated.
You need
to
one.
Yeah,
Everybody
you
needs
have
one.
to have one. No, yeah, they fucking suck, dude. Unfortunately, when you work downtown, it's so easy to have like a beer and a couple shots after work. Talking with your coworkers, hop in your car and driving to two.
And the worst part is, like, we all know that it's not based off how you feel; it's how many you drink.
Yeah.
And we're taught that.
Yeah, and we're supposed to like look out for that shit.
We know how to find it,
to
but
be
we don't.
honest,
We don't
when
apply
you're
it
in
to
the heat of the
ourselves,
moment,
yeah.
you're having a fun time with your friends, dude. It's to be honest, it's really hard to keep track. Like, all right, I had 2 shots with Sarah, 1 shot with Anna, 1 shot with you. It's like, all right, where am I at? And it's like,
Exactly.
and then what I've been explained is, once they get past that 0.8 limit, like your body starts telling yourself, like, oh, I can do this. Like, oh,
Right.
I've only had a couple shots. Like, let me hop in the car and just get home. Like, let me not even pay for the $12 Uber. And you're like, well, the fucking $12 Uber is way better than like a few $1,000 DUI.
Or if you're in my case, a $50,000 DUI.
My DUIs cost me right now $21,230.
Why?
Why do you know that on the dot?
Why not?
Why?
Why do you
Because I started being
You
responsible
pay.
and following all my financial records. No, I totaled a car too and kind of wrecked in 2 other cars.
Oh shit! I didn't even include the car's cost.
Yeah,
Jesus
no. So you have to
Christ.
pay for the damages you do to other people.
No, I'm talking about. So,
I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. My mom, my dad, really being sad. No, I couldn't pay for those.
Yeah, it turns
So my
out.
DUI,
like-
I was like a fucking roll my car into a tree.
Oh, dude, that was like. All right, first off, I want to. You put that nonchalantly on the internet, like, oh, I rolled my car, I'm good. And I'm like, I start looking at the pictures. I'm like, what the fuck? No, this was quite serious. Why are you acting I'm like, yo, so talk about it. What the fuck happened?
So, me and Shredder had a good day.
Roll Tide Shredder.
Matt Shredder, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Me and him,
Were you playing frisbee golf?
No, dude, I was helping him fucking move.
Oh yeah.
All
That'll
day
happen.
long, moving furniture. All day long. We got done at 12:30 at night, bro. But we were drinking Trulies all day. The whole time.
Trulies, yeah.
But we were also doing physical fucking.
They're like
We killed a fucking pack of Trulies.
Mm-hmm.
But we were actually like doing fucking. We were moving shit all. He has a lot of shit. Bro. Shredder.
Oh, like when he was moving. Okay, yeah.
He has a lot of stuff,
right.
bro.
Okay.
And not just like he was like, oh, just some shit. Come help me move. I was like, all right, cool. I'll be there.
It was like
I showed up and I was like,
house. You're like,
oh, this is a
fuck
move.
This
This is a
This
move. Like,
This
Jesus.
is not a desk and 2 couches and a bed. Like,
This is a desk, a couch, a bed, a table, your life, your mother, and her first son too. Like the whole fucking 9 yards.
Yeah, it's like moving the family house into a new
I
house.
owe Matt Shredder my life. He's my baby, my friend, my fam. You know, all day. I will do anything for that guy. I'll do anything for any of my friends. So I showed up, told him I'd help him move, kept my word, and was like, "Fuck it, dude." Stayed and moved. I showed up at 6 o'clock, didn't get done helping him move, and we were moving him into my fucking garage because he was gonna pay for a storage unit, and I told him, "Fuck you, you're not paying for a storage unit. I got a garage I pay $75 a month for, and I only use a quarter of it. Put all your shit in my garage, pay me half." Pay me half of what I pay for my garage.
It's like
$30.
$37.50 or something.
Yeah,
like
$30
that.
to store all your shit a month. Bet. He was like,
Yeah,
hard
I agree
yes.
with that.
And I helped him move it in there.
Right.
You know?
Good friend.
Yeah, so we were fucking drinking Trulies the whole process of this. We finally moved the last piece of furniture out of the U-Haul at 12:30 at night. We're like, oh, fuck, dude, Jim's alibi?
Running. Yeah,
Real
I was
quick.
literally passing Jim's alibi the other night, and I'm just like, who the fuck comes up with these
Everybody
names?
fucking
You know, but
knows
if you
that.
look at it, they're just like drunk one night. Oh, I'm gonna call it Jim's alibi. I'm gonna call it Hannah's. I'm gonna call it fucking. You know.
Jim's
that-
alibi has been. It's one of those roots bars. It's been there for a long time.
No, it's been there.
It's Boise roots.
Right,
you know?
right. And a couple others. What were the other ones? Broadway Bar.
Broadway bar. That stupid
Where's
college
that-
bar.
Yeah, with the orange blue. Hold on, boys. Did y'all hear about this? So it's Suds, right?
Suds.
Right. That's what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Suds,
All right.
we got dollar beers on
All right,
Thursdays.
all right. That's
That
what I'm
the-
talking
that
about.
$2
No,
beers.
no.
No,
That's
reason
what I'm
I
talking about.
ever
That's what
go
I'm
to
talking
Suds.
about. All right,
That is the
so
only reason.
they had their sign stolen from out front. That's like "Go Broncos, dollar beers." And Suds put up a post on Instagram. You can look this up. And it's literally like, hey, whoever stole our sign. Whoever stole our sign, and you got to realize, it was probably some like freshman assholes. They're just like, oh, we got fucking Suds dollar beers, like Go Broncos, like. Look at our Instagram. Yeah. Fucking Delta.
I guess that's a bad word. Sorry,
Like,
fucking
what
assholes.
do you mean? But all right, so they take the sign or whatever, and Suds comes back and clapback session. All right, dollar beers on Thursdays is suspended until we get our sign back.
No shit.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
This happened last week. 2 days later, the sign is shown back up, just left in front of Suds. Swear to
imagine
God.
seeing
Yeah. They're like, dollar beers are gone? Well, fuck this. Here, have the sign, dude. That was our whole thing.
No, bro.
School day.
Imagine fucking seeing that shit and it like being literally fucking.
You're like, dude, you ruined fucking dollar
No,
beers.
but no, your dumbass had already told every single person in your dorm.
They're like, oh, I'm the bad.
I'm the
also-
fucking
Yeah, I'm also.
So that sign, I got that.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, you ruined dollar beers on Thursdays, you dickhead. You know? Like, return the sign, Charles, you fucking asshole.
Like you fucked it for all of us, bro. Like literally. But imagine being that guy because like not only are you proud, you had the sign.
Hello? Okay.
It's your sign. It's in your possession. You got it. But you told 19 of your fucking friends and girls you're trying to sleep with. And
Yeah.
you're a freshman in college.
Oh,
and
you
all of a
know
sudden,
we told
all
the
8
girls
of
he's trying
Becky's
to
and
sleep
Becca's
with.
and fucking Brenda's are all texting
Oh,
you like,
yeah.
you better return that sign, Chad.
Like, hey, Chad, I get it. Like, you think you're cool, but return the sign, because that's the only thing we have to do on Thursdays. It's dollar beers, bud. And guess what? They don't check the IDs
Bro, it's
too
the only
well.
place that doesn't let us in, even though we're not 21. Like, come on.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
exactly.
This, we need
It's
this
like the place that, well, you have a card that has a picture on it. You're good. Send it.
Dude, the guy looks intimidating. I'm fucking 25. I walk in there and I'm like, dude, it's good. I swear,
Well, for
bro.
some reason,
He lets everybody in.
you know, this is the funny part. I think he sees us and he's like, oh, that might be a cop. Let me thoroughly check their ID. But he sees a 17 to 19-year-old walking in and like, seems legit.
Holy shit,
Seems
you're so
legit.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I've never thought about
No,
it that way. He's like,
but
oh, yeah.
they check ours thoroughly. They're like, look at me, look at the ID, check it, look it in, like do the flashlight thing. But the girl behind me, like, oh, yep, this looks legit.
Were you ever a bouncer?
No, never been a bouncer.
Why?
Yeah.
That's a good job, bro.
I really don't know why I never became a bouncer. Really,
You know why
honestly,
I was a bouncer? Ted told me when I started working for him, he was like, you gotta work your way up.
Oh, he pumped you up.
I went, no, he didn't pump me up. He pumped me down. He was like, fuck you. If you want to be a bartender, you gotta be the best server in the entire building. Yeah, it was like that. He pumped you down. He was like, you see Becky, she got hired last week. She pretty. She bartending. You ugly. You gotta take some time.
It's because you
gotta
ain't.
put in work.
Yeah,
He
well,
literally was like,
you got to put in the work because
you
you
gotta be
ain't
the
getting
best
down
server
on
here.
your
You
knees,
gotta bounce
bro.
for me for a year. You also gotta bar back for 6 months, and then maybe you might bartend.
Yeah, it's kind of how it happens there.
Yeah, but that's why I back. So basically, I was a server, and then I went from tailgate to China as a bouncer. I had some fun as a bouncer.
I feel like you could be a prominent figure on 6 of Main as a bouncer. Like, hey, you're allowed in. You're not, bud.
I was only a bouncer for like 2 weeks before they're like, we need bar bags. You pretty, come here.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, cool.
that's what they did with Chad and Chrissy. They're like,
Wait, you got tattoos, and you like, you got. Come
well,
here.
they're like,
Can
you talk too much for the kitchen.
Oh, you were in the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, you talk too much. Like, hey, how about we let you talk and make some money? And then like, hey, you're kind of good at this, and why don't you be a bartender? And I was like, fuck yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and kind of just rolled with it, you know. But then, you know, the front door, everyone, it's a honey hole. It really is.
Honey hole? What's
it
a
really
honey hole?
is. Honey hole
What's
is
a
just,
honey hole?
bro. You can go to it every day. You come back with something.
Ah,
Like, it's solid. It's solid. You know, it's like a little secret fishing hole. I'll tell you what.
Is that a southern term, a honey hole?
Yeah, I guess they say it in the South. Out
Money
here,
hole? It's like a money tree. It's a
I
honey
don't
hole.
know. I guess you would call it like a.
I would call
A
it a honey hole.
guarantee.
No, a honey hole. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
it's a
it.
little
good.
honey hole. It's, you know, it's something for you. It's genuine. And it always delivers. It's consistent. It's very consistent.
Well, I
you
mean,
know.
as much as it can be right now.
You know what? To be honest,
Were tips increasing with the people who can?
I'm not even gonna lie. I've come back like, you know, we aren't getting the volume we have, but we have substantial like people that come in there and they treat us right. You know, we have people that are just like legit to us. Like they show their loyalty. So honestly, I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
I
I have a lot of faith in the Johnson family. Because you know me, I'm good
House
friends with Johnny.
Johnson.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Johnny, good friends with Justin. You know, and they treat me well. They're good people.
They're good
friends.
people. They're
They're good
you know,
friends
they're
of mine.
wild and they make, you know,
I have known
decisions
Johnny
just
on
like
a
us.
personal note, never working for him or with him. On a personal note for about 3 years now. You
Yeah.
know, and that's what's cool to say. I'm the only I'm in the crew, but like I know.
I get
I
it.
never worked there.
It was a little different for me because like I moved up here and like I you know moved up here for different reasons, but I had a little bit of money saved up, and after like my first month and a half, I just you know blew it all like an asshole. Like like I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was spending money like I was rich. But I ran out of money, and so my buddy was working at the Reef, and I'm like, you get a job as a kitchen dude. I'm like, yeah,
Fucking work, bro.
yeah. I'm like, I really don't ever want to go back to service industry, and I went in there, and knowing my sister, which was a Boise State cheerleader, got fired from there and released. I don't know what it was. My little brother definitely got fired. It was a no-call
Wait, your little
no
brother lives
Shaw.
out here too?
Yeah, my little brother, he's been out here for a while.
Oh shit, I know that.
Yeah,
NASA
yeah,
motherfucker?
Christian.
Jesus,
Yeah, NASA.
Christian.
He
Yeah,
works for NASA.
I've known your brother longer than I've known you, actually.
Yeah. I
Which is
mean,
kind of a
I
treat.
get that a lot. A lot of people are like,
Well,
"Hey, I
he's
think I
young-
met
he's
you
young-
at a
he's about my
party."
age. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and your brother are about the same age, but
Right.
I know him because of the whole industry. You know, we're
Yeah,
all in the same industry,
100%.
shit.
But both of them got released from House Johnson. So when I got hired, they didn't.
Wait, you were released from House Johnson?
So when I got hired there, they're like, I got past the interview, right? And they didn't realize who they were hiring. And we're doing the paperwork, and our executive chef, Drew Ledger, was like, he's doing the paperwork, and he sees like Brandon White, and it must have clicked. He's like, oh, the Whites. Like, all right. And then he saw Woodstock, Georgia, and he stops, and he's like, by any chance,
Are you guys brothers?
are you part of the white family from Georgia? I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, yes, I am, but judge me as an individual. Judge me as an individual today and what I do moving forward. Don't judge me as, my brothers or sisters' past mistakes, only because they were moving on to like better and bigger and better stuff. They had their reasons for doing that. But long story short, House Johnson's like, they accepted me, and I've had to work for that respect, but I think I put in the work, and I consider them family. They consider me family, but I had to. I had to,
You had to put in the
for
work
that.
for it,
I
right.
swear to God, it was not easy.
So I was thinking one thing we're gonna do pretty soon. I was talking to Shredder about it. Is a bartender's cast with you, Andy, Johnny, and Matt.
I would dig that.
We're gonna talk
Those
about
are a lot of
drinks.
those are a lot of my mentors. Believe it or not, Andy, Matt, Johnny. Those are the bartenders that kind of like taught me everything.
Matt Shredder is a fucking mixologist. He got so
100%.
mad when they called him that too. He was
Johnny's really good, and Andy has definitely a
Phenomenal
lot of
manager,
experience.
phenomenal
Yeah,
human,
he's a people's person.
he's just
great.
amazing
He
with
knows
what he
how to
does.
like talk to everyone.
He knows his craft, man, and what his craft is.
I've
is
learned
just
so
people.
much from those three guys, those gentlemen, honestly. Well, at times. Anyways, I know I've learned so much from them. Like, yeah, I've gone up to Matt because I started in the kitchen. Like, all right, I can cook food, I can mix ingredients, but working as a bartender, I had no idea what to do. So I've asked Matt a couple points and tips. Johnny's helped me out through in and throughout, and Andy's helped me out on different levels. But I would thoroughly enjoy that because I think us four together would definitely have an intriguing conversation.
Well, Johnny, I talked to him last week about coming on. I have actually Eric from the Reef coming on Thursday.
Oh, Eric,
Eric Realtor.
Yeah.
Realtor Eric, he's bringing his team member on from City of Trees Real Estate. We're doing a whole podcast for them, and big things on the YoungBlood podcast, bro. Shit's
Well,
going
yeah,
on here.
Eric's a good guy. He's
I've known him for a long time, dude. He's a fucking character, man.
Yeah,
He's a good cat.
he's been a genuine friend from day one. He's just an honest person. He'll tell you straight up.
He works hard, kicks
Yeah.
ass, takes names, and ends the day,
And
baby.
he has goals, not just for the weekend.
Right.
He
He's
has
not just there
solid
bartending.
goals.
He's there because this is money, motherfucker. I want it in my pocket, but tell you what, this ain't the only money I'm making.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
He ends the day, but he'll come back tomorrow.
Oh, he's taught
he's all work.
he's taught me a lot.
He's all
Especially
work.
about the future. Like, hey, is this what you want, or what's your next goal? What's your next ambition?
Damn, that's a fucking friend.
Oh, he's a solid friend. He's
Holy
a
shit.
legit friend. His girlfriend's great too. Steph.
Dude, that's a friend. You're telling me, what's your goal? Like, where are you going
Oh,
with this?
me?
Holy shit. No, that's what
Oh
he's
no,
saying. That-
100%. Yeah, he makes you think outside the box.
Wow.
He's like, hey, what's next, bud? Like, this is good, but what's next? And I honestly, he's like one of those friends that it's like a competition. Like, hey, what are we going to do tonight? You know, at work it might be like, you know, how many glasses of water are you going to drink? And it's always
Right.
a competition to make you a better person.
Right.
Or like how many specials are you going to sell?
Right.
Something like that. But he's always down there to talk to, and he's, you know, a personable person. You know, he's got a lot of goals and ambitions.
Yeah, he wanted to
outside of
come on
this.
the show, but like when he wanted to come on, I got his card right up there actually. All my homies' business cards and everything go on that wall. But he's on the bottom right.
Okay.
Yep.
The white one?
Yep.
All
that's
white?
it. Yeah.
Oh man, it looks like the. Oh, I thought it was the Men in Black one. 2 cards over, just a name, solid white card. Like, hey.
Oh no, that's my business. That's the back of my business card.
Just come to this building. Good luck. You're gonna see. Yeah, you're gonna see 2 gigantic fans.
No man, he wanted to come on the show, and he didn't just want to come on the show. He was like, "Hey, this is an opportunity for me."
Right.
Is what he thought. You know, he was like, "Oh, I want to come on your show." Like, fuck yeah. And then he was like, "Wait, I'm gonna come on the show. This is an opportunity for me and my company." He's bringing another realtor from his fucking company, City of Cheers Real Estate, huge team member, like huge fucking legit, to just come on and talk about their life, their story, what's going on with them in fucking cities and trees. This is an opportunity for me to give them advertisement.
Well, I
This is
think it
free
goes back and
advertisement.
forth. I think it goes back and forth. I think it's gonna be a great thing. You know, it's gonna
And this
like
is the podcast
show
we
Eric,
probably
but
won't
it's
drink
gonna
on
like,
the podcast. You know,
right.
this
It's
is
gonna be a little bit more
yeah.
official, not like this. A little bit more laid back.
I
Which
mean, we
I
had a
would
couple
appreciate
beers,
this.
we
You
hung
know,
out.
this is how I like it. You know, this is where you get the person's genuine responses. You know.
I had my tattoo artist. He wants to come on next. Jason Corona. He does all this work up here.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
if
got
you
some
wanna
solid
actually get on the
color.
cameras and
We
get
got
off of
some
that fucking
solid
phone.
color there.
So, oh, there it is.
There it is. Solid color.
So Cam is showing. He's here.
Is that space?
That's all space.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I got this is a fresh one
Oh yeah, that's new lines, clean lines too.
right here.
Yeah, black and red.
That right there. It's a titty
Oh
skull.
man.
It's a titty skull. Show the cameras.
You're showing it upside down so they can't really see it.
Fuck you, Cameron. But that being said, he was all giving me a tattoo a couple weeks ago. And he was like, "Bro, like, I've seen your show. It's just fucking popping off. It's a good time, dog. Get me on there." It's like cool, because he was like trying to get Jason, my tattoo artist, and you know that's not a problem at all. You know, I'll get you on the show, and fucking straight asked me to get on the show, bro. And I was like, damn, bro, I appreciate it, but it's also one of those things. It is not just a good thing for me to have their social media aspect and everything. When somebody else comes on the show,
It's a give. It's a give and take thing. It's a wonderful thing, and I'm sure like he's super thankful about that because like you know it's opportunity for him to invest in his area and then invest into the show.
So we're gonna have Jason Corona around here at some point in time. We're not sure quite when.
He's the one that did all your tattoos,
He's
right?
the one that did all the work on my right arm, and I've got like 3 artists now, but he's the one who did the main set of things, and he's also the one that I go to regularly. I send everybody to him. He's over at Lifestyle Tattoo in Boise, Idaho, or at
Where's
Meridian.
that located? Oh, Meridian.
Meridian on Eagle and Overland. Eagle and Overland.
That's pretty cool.
Good
Yeah.
work, man. He does-
Yeah.
Dude, this
it
is my
looks like
favorite. That one right here.
solid colors.
This one right here, it's not done yet. He's still got to finish the earth and the elbow.
Right.
But it's an astronaut sitting on the moon on a bench, looking at Earth by himself. No ship, no nothing. He's stuck up the moon.
It's like that Russian astronaut.
And
Can
at
you
this
look that
point,
up
at this point,
real
he's
quick, Cam. That
at this point he's stuck on the moon, looking at literally what's going on down here.
right.
Fuck.
There's a Russian astronaut that like kind of just got left in space for a while. I don't know the whole background story of it. No, it's not the Russian astronaut that got stuck in space for like a year and a half because of the Cold War.
Right.
So he went up there before the Cold War started, apparently, and they switched.
Why
They
is this
switched
a real
governments
thing?
while he
What?
was in space, and he was just stuck out there for like a year and a half the Russians are just like, I don't know what to do with you, bud. Like, you're kind of just stuck.
Soviet citizen.
Yeah.
The cosmonaut who was
Yeah.
behind in space.
How long was he up there?
Sergei Krikalev.
Krikalev.
Krikalev. Yeah, I'm probably butchering that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scan this.
Do you like Camden's setup, dude? Look at that shit.
Oh, I dig it. I totally appreciate this. So, from what I got from the stories, he went up there right before they had like a little slight revolution, kind of switch in government, and while he was in space, they switched up the whole government, and he ended up just orbiting the Earth for like a year and a half before he could come back home.
Running on MREs and fucking adrenaline,
like,
bro.
he came back, he couldn't even walk.
What?
Just because he's been in space
Oh,
too
that's a
long.
long
Yeah,
time.
dude.
That's how astronauts are, though. Once
Yeah,
you're in
he's just
space,
like a year. Can you imagine? Like, I left the United States.
Camden, can you do
My
me
first
one
2
quick
weeks.
Google? Would you look up the amount of time an average astronaut spends in space?
I can do that.
What's the average time?
Can you imagine that though? Like, guess what? Hey, me and you get sent up to the IS.
Have you seen Space Force?
ISSA. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
like
like
the
that.
first couple episodes.
Have you seen the whole
6
season?
months.
Have you seen the whole season?
About 6
About
months.
6 months.
Holy
How long does
Google
it
shit.
take to recover from that though?
No, but
That's
still,
pretty
but
close.
6 months. That's a year and a half.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna spend about $40
That's
billion to send me up, I'm
times,
gonna
Bro,
spend
that is
6
3
months
times the
vacay.
amount of the average astronaut.
Yeah, it's intense.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
We
You
respect
know,
you, Russian cosmonaut.
Yeah.
We respect you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
After a 3 to 4 month trip to space, it takes about 2 to 3 years
Yeah.
to regain the lost bone density.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
2 to 3 years after
Star Wars was
after
full
a
of
3
shit.
to 4 month journey. So those guys that are going an average of 6 months.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just because no gravity, or just like there's something up in there?
There's
Like,
no gravity.
Yeah, fuck
Because
Star Trek and Star Wars. They're
Think
fucking
about
liars.
Think about it. Humans are built for Earth. So when you
Right,
take away
right,
the
right.
gravity and all that shit that's making our body work,
Right.
you go into space, there's no gravity. Your bones, they don't have to work. There's no gravity. You don't have to hold yourself up,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So you're just floating, and so they're just like...
Just kind of like
I'm
going
just-
about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I heard this-
adapt to
I
this
heard this-
situation real quick.
I heard this new like speculation that NASA just discovered like I think it was like 3,900 planets that were like Earth livable, like us.
Right.
That's pretty intense to think about. Now, my uncle's a rocket scientist for NASA. My family's like pretty prominent.
And your brother,
in NASA.
Did he do some shit with NASA?
Yeah, he's still contracted through them, I believe. I don't know. He's done his 3rd year apprenticeship. But after the 4th year, you get accepted or not. I think he's on the right track, but
Dope.
I really don't know. But
Christian White. Let's go.
yeah,
son.
yeah.
Atta kid. Good for you, man. Keep
I wore
sending
one
those
of it.
stripes.
I wore one of his T-shirts to like an outside event. It said NASA. It looked real legit. They're like, "Are you part of NASA?" I'm like,
He's
Yeah.
dude. I've partied with him. He's just, dude. That is his statement.
"Ah,
dude,
dude,
they set
if
it off,
you work
man.
for fucking NASA, when you're like, hey, by the way,
Oh, all
build
the time.
rocket ships,
Dude,
y'all."
that gets your brother laid all the time.
Well, it did for a while. He's
Still
got a
does.
solid girl.
Still
No,
does.
he's got a solid girl now. He's
still
locked
would.
down.
Still would.
Well, I'm
Still
sure
would.
that's one of the
Still would.
contributions that it gave him.
Bro, I
Yeah,
partied
so-
with him multiple times. I used to be like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like, hey, by the way,
Because
if
if
y'all
I was-
didn't know, I kind of work for NASA.
Literally, they'd be like, even my girlfriend at the time was like, what?
I hate to say it, I've used him. I was like, yeah. By the way, my brother works for NASA. It's kind of a big deal. I hate to say it. I've used my little brother. Like, yeah, my little brother works for NASA. Don't know if you like space, but roll tide.
So I ask everybody who comes on this podcast, who would you like to see next on this show?
Oh, on this show. If I had to think about
Of
it.
the Boise locals, the Boise
Oh,
scene, the
now
Boise...
we're getting okay.
Yeah,
I thought we were
back to-
talking fantasies.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no, no,
well,
baby. No,
let's,
baby.
let's go, boys.
All about people we know,
I
like
want
all that.
Donald Trump on this podcast.
Yeah, let's fucking get famous here, boys and girls.
Realistically, to the people who actually might hear you say it, when they're like, oh,
Let's see. Who would I want to
fuck.
hear
You're on
some
episode
shit
18,
from?
my man.
Yeah,
who do
so
you wanna
who would
s-
I want to be? 19?
19, 20, 21, like, come on, man. Who do you want to see? Come on.
I don't know. You know what? A different perspective that I'd like to hear. There's two people I'd like to hear. Either Bradford Wallace. He's.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, well, let me tell you about him. So he's a bartender / manager at Edge Brewery.
Word, that would be cool.
Very, very distinctive individual. Taught me a lot about everything about life. Taught me how to make the. Where's that even come from?
Your phone charging in the corner.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You go grab it. It's good.
Yeah.
I got it.
But Bradford Wallace taught me to make the best Bloody Mary I've ever made.
And what's that recipe? Let's hear it.
Well, I can't tell you, man. It's a secret, bro. I got it on text message, no big deal. But it's got a lot of ingredients in there. But I have.
Is there pickle juice?
Yeah, there's.
Good
Well, no, not pickle juice. It's
Olive juice?
peppercini juice.
Oh, that's a good move. That's a good move. That's a very good move.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
What kind of vodka?
He
Cherry
has.
vodka? Pepper vodka?
Well, you know what? Honestly, it's a preference on the vodka because the vodka,
No, vodka. You can honestly, if you got a good Bloody Mary mix recipe, you can really put any vodka you want to put in. If you want to add a good accent to it, it's nice to add that peppered vodka
Right,
or a spicy
yeah,
vodka. You know,
typical,
then you get a more kick. But if
we
you,
have so many extra ingredients that go into it. It's not just
yeah, then
pepper,
the vodka
it's
don't matter.
like
If
little
it's just a good mix, then it's a
tapatio,
good mix.
Yeah, we have a solid mix that goes into it. Or from what he's taught me, and I've literally had customers. I think he stopped working there about a year ago, but I've had customers for the past year come in and ask me for Bradford's Bloody Mary, and I'm like,
Bradford's Bloody
another individual I'd love to see on the show would be Jose Manzanares. He's the GM at the Basque Center.
I know Jose. He's a fucking cat.
Yeah, he kind of
He's
like.
a cool
Yeah,
guy. I'm friends with
he's
him.
taught me a
He's
lot of shit.
Dude, maybe I'll reach out to him. I'll reach out to him.
Oh,
separately.
100%.
Do
You
the same for
should.
me. Reach out to him separately. Dude,
Yeah.
both of you
He
guys.
would definitely enjoy this. Like, this is a person. He's been a mentor for a long time. He has a daughter. I have a daughter. So he's taught me a lot in that aspect. Also, he was my bartender when I was a cook. Like, he was there when I was fucking up, all the pizzas, and then taught me like, hey, this is kind of what you need to do. I also lived with him for a little bit. He allowed me. He's just good. He's a good man, a good friend, great father. He's taught me a lot, and those are
That's
two
what we all
people that are
strive for, man.
genuine to downtown and like Boise area, but they're very charismatic. They carry conversations quite well, and they're good at what they do. Also, they're respectful fathers, and that's something I enjoy. But they'll give you a different perspective that I would give you. So I think those are the two people I'd like to see on here.
Man, Jose. I sat with him at your bar one time over at fucking Front Door.
He's
He's a good guy. He's a
Well,
good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy and great role model. But
And that's me talking to him and not knowing who he was.
the thing
I had
about
no idea
him,
who he was and what he did, like what he was about. And then when he left, somebody was like, "You know who that is?" Right? I was like, "No." Figure it out, kid.
yeah, figure it out, bud. 'Cause it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal.
No, he still has the Manzi. It's our top-selling drink at the Front Door. I've tried to compete with it a few different times. It just, it's a solid drink. No, he's a people's person. He can connect to anybody, any different race, sex, any different, even a judgmental person. He can connect with them. He's a people's person. That's probably why you connected with him, just like I did.
Dude, we just sat at the bar and had a good time.
Yeah, he's
Not a
a good dude. What he did for the Front Door we're really thankful for, and what he's done for the bass community. I'm sure they're quite pleased with.
So what are your shifts right now looking at the front door? Like, are you getting a good amount of work still? Like, if I came in, like, could I come in to visit you with my mask on? Come in, like, how do I gotta do this? Man?
Well, yeah, of course you can.
Do patrons have to wear a mask, or is it just you guys? Like, how does this work?
So as an employee, we have to wear a mask and gloves. We're going to keep that for as long as the general public sees.
Makes us masks.
Yeah, as long as they, feel comfortable with that, we're going to keep doing it to make sure they keep coming back. We're taking all the right precautions and so on and so forth. But, if you want to come see me, I'm guaranteed to be there every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. I got a set schedule, so that's kind of like my nights there. It's always a good time, Come to the front door. On the weekends, you're getting $2 Idaho cans. It's the best deal in town. You can't beat it anywhere else. I mean, we're talking name brand. You go anywhere in town, Mother Earth, Buku, or Hop Diggy, you're paying $6.50, $5.50 minimum. Come to the front door, $3. On happy hour, $2. Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
So we can still drink there, but we gotta order food.
Yeah. You won't. Technically, you don't have to order
food. You gotta get
food.
a table.
You have to get a table.
That's the rule.
We have a couple tables that are lined up on the bar. Still a good time, and that follows the same suit with the Reef. Come there for some food or some drinks. The great thing about our establishment is, we've established ourselves as a restaurant, but we have the aspect of a bar, and that's what's helping us
Honestly,
out.
great way to put it.
Yeah.
As a patron who goes there regularly, God, that's why I go there. I don't just
100%.
go to the Reef or Brickyard or the front door just because I have friends there, but because I go there on a Friday, Saturday night.
Absolutely.
And there's other people say, hey,
It's
let's
a
go
place
to the
to
Reef.
be.
It is a very big place to be.
Yeah, it's
It
a
is
place to be.
the Johnson fucking family.
House Johnson.
The House
That's what I
Johnson.
call it.
Yeah,
House
what
Johnson.
you call it, what I'll call it, what anybody needs to hear. The Johnson family.
Yeah, I dig
the
that, man.
people who own that bar, the people who have built
They're
that
good people.
establishment
Yeah, they're good
have
people.
absolutely done an amazing job.
Right, and what I tell everyone that walks into that establishment, hey, don't lie, cheat, or steal from them. They'll treat you
the
like
same.
family. Don't lie, cheat, or steal. And they'll treat you the same.
And that's as an employee, let alone a patron.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an employee, but I feel like, they've really took me under the wing. But, just like I brought up earlier, like, it was a little sketchy at first. I was like, oh, by the way, I know what happened before with the brother and sister,
You know what
but,
I was doing this time last year?
yeah, I was like,
I was blowing up shit in front of Johnny's house. I fucking 4th of July, bro. This time last year, me and him were setting off fucking fireworks. Like it was the goddamn first day of the American.
oh, that makes me happy because, like, 2 days after that, maybe, it might have been the same fucking night, we were all at a party, and one of our coworkers.
Was it the party before? It was the 4th of July party, the actual night.
Yeah, we were in
I
on the
wasn't at that
cul-de-sac.
party, but we met after.
Okay.
So Johnny and I met up after.
So,
We were at the party.
me and Johnny's little brother Justin decided to take an epic
Was
picture.
Star there?
Johnny's.
Recurrent.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't fucking know. I've never
Was there
seen
a
her.
fight between the two of them?
No, not in front of me. Like, when I got there, I was pretty fucked up, and me and Justin, there's people lighting fireworks, and we're like, oh, let's be those cool douchey dudes that take off their shirt and take a picture in front of the fireworks. We started taking a picture, and that shit started sparkling. We're like, trying to act cool, but this shit's lighting our back on fire. And I think during this time, Johnny decided to, just casually walk through the fireworks, doing Johnny's thing, with the backpack full of more fireworks. I'm looking at this whole situation like, this is a fucking disaster, but let's fucking
do it. Johnson party.
This is House Johnson fucking rolls out. Yeah, it was a good time, man. This time last year, it was a party. Can't talk about 4th of July this year.
What are you doing?
All right, so I'm kind of stuck in a position where I'm trying to plan something with an individual, and she's just not really having it. So I'm really gonna. I made plans with my buddy's cabin. Ryan, he's from California, and we're gonna go up there with Jake and his girl and a whole bunch of their friends, and we're just gonna just be in McCall
Dude,
for the weekend.
are you in McCall? I got a cabin for like 2.5, 3 hours outside of McCall, and it's like
Like your cabin?
Yeah.
Oh,
my family,
legit. Yeah.
So
yeah,
have you ever seen Warren Wagon Road? So you hit the lake, you're right downtown, you take a right.
Right.
Warren Wagon Road. You drive for a couple hours. My cabin's in that town. It's called Warren. Warren, Idaho. It's an old mining town. It's just outside McCall. So what we do, my grandma stays in that cabin year round. My grandma's a badass. This chick drinks more vodka than you've ever seen.
Roll Tide.
Oh, dude, she just sits and scents all night. But she's a homie. So I tell my grandma, hey, I'm coming up for 4. She's like, I'll be here, darling. See when you get here. Hey, I might be at the creek. I might not, but I'll see when you get here, darling.
Right.
Every time, she's a badass Idaho grandma.
Is that what you're doing on the 4th?
What I was gonna do, but my girl works on the 5th.
Oh, dude.
But
thank God, House Johnson let me have the Sunday
the thing
off.
is, if we really thought about it and planned it, we could probably go up 3rd and 4th, get back 5th morning.
Right. Where does she work?
Dawson Taylor.
What's that?
For Hayden Beverage. We all know Hayden.
Oh, that's what you're.
Yeah, we all know Hayden Beverage.
Coffee shop.
No. So Dawson Taylor is the coffee shop of Hayden Beverage.
Okay.
So Hayden Beverage does own Dawson Taylor. It's you know how Hayden Beverage distributes to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
The coffee they distribute is Dawson Taylor coffee.
Okay.
They have a coffee shop downtown, right across the street from Pyle.
Off A Street.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Haven't been there, but I'll definitely have to check
Oh,
it
you'll
out.
have to, bro. No, you
Yeah.
have to.
It's a little weird this 4th of July because typically working in the industry, like 4th of July is a solid night for you, right?
Yep.
You don't get it off for some
4th of July is a Monday. It's like
reason.
it's like St. Patty's Day. It's
Yeah,
like New
what I'm
Year's Eve.
confused about is-
So the 5 best years of being a bartender: St. Patrick's Day, New
right.
Year's Eve,
Yep.
fucking 4th of July,
I'll take that.
Halloween.
All right.
I think that's 4. I don't think it's 5.
We got to give the 5, right?
What's 5? What's 5? What would be 5? What's the 5th best day?
You want to know?
Let's hear it.
The night before Thanksgiving. Why? Because everyone's cooking the next day. They're cooking the whole night. They're ordering out. The night before Thanksgiving,
So we got
restaurants get their asses kicked in.
Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We got Halloween.
Right. I can
We
dig
got
that.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
And what was the 5th I missed?
4th of July.
4th of July. That's the 5 busiest day in the bartending industry.
Mm.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Maybe,
In Idaho.
maybe
Idaho.
even Father's Day because they're so disappointed.
No, bro.
I didn't
They're
get
so
that new
disappointed.
trainer I wanted.
They're like, God dang it!
No,
you know,
dude,
for
no,
Mother's
it's
Day, she
gotta
wants
be-
a diamond cut
And
bracelet,
the
but
two best, Halloween, New Year's Eve.
Easily Halloween. Halloween's a
Halloween is
Halloween,
if not
just
the
like,
number
guess
one.
what? For all the
The
girls,
number
like, guess what? I
one.
can finally dress like a hoe, and no one will judge me.
Halloween
So
has to be
everyone's trying.
number fucking 1 almost, bro. It is the busiest week. Because, bro, it's not just one night. If Halloween falls on a fucking Friday,
But
Monday,
you remember
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday
Fellas,
are
you remember
busy.
like two years ago, it fell on a Wednesday, so we had the weekend before,
Wednesday.
and then the weekend after,
Yeah.
and then the middle of the week.
Oh my god, it was just
It was
like
like a
it was
fucking
madhouse.
full 7 days of
Of people
partying.
dressing up in costumes,
Everyone's in
like,
costume the entire
Every night.
It was
A
insane.
full fucking 7 days.
full 7 days.
That was solid.
Full 7 days, bro.
Yeah, I was up in Seattle at that time. My sister was like taking me around, and you know, my sister, just like the rest of our family, like if anyone's coming to visit, we're trying to go above and beyond. And let me tell y'all, she went above and beyond. Red Bull, proper jobs. Y'all did great. And not a thank you, because like that was the most fucking fun I never want to have again. I think I threw up for 4 days after that. might have broken my hand. Actually, I did. One of her bartenders was an old medic for the Army, and that night I was just like, just being a typical drunk dude. Like, oh, I'm mad at something. Let me punch something else.
Right.
I don't know. Ended up giving myself a boxer fracture, and I was just like, I don't have health insurance. She's like, no, don't worry. I have a bartender. She was a medic in the Army.
Fuck.
Yeah, she reset my hand. I don't know. I was skeptical at the time, but just want to let you know there's like,
it done do good.
it works. Everything works. Like, props to her.
You know Jared was a medic in the Army?
I did not know that, but I heard like he
was
in the military, so that's pretty cool.
No, he wasn't just
Much
in the military,
respect.
dog. He was in the heat. And in his podcast, we didn't talk about it, but we talked about a lot of stuff off show.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he told me about things he legally could not have said. So I cannot say.
No, I totally get that.
He was like, dude, this is, since we're not on microphone, I can tell you this, but like.
No,
I found one dude's thumb.
Yeah, no,
I was like, oh my god.
I totally get that.
Same shit.
My friend's a special forces sniper, and he's about to go into his 6th tour. Like, he's had to learn like 3 or 4 different languages, but one night, it was probably about 3 years after high school, so about 8 years ago, we just started messaging each other real late at night, because I'd come home from a late night. It'd be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He's just waking up in Iraq, and I guess not a lot so people.
And at your point, you're getting off work.
Yeah, and
so
he's just messaging me. He's like,
talking.
yo, how you doing? I'm like, yo, dude, it's so good to hear from you. And he told me, and I still have these messages saved, but he told me in detail descriptions of like battles they had. Like he was in the heat of the moment, and
in Iraq. Yeah,
and I forget the town he told me about. I'm sure if you looked it up, they had the most gunfights and battle fights every day. It was a strategic point for Al-Qaeda at the time, and he told me specific and detail like stories, and this was every couple of weeks, like when I could finally get in contact, and we'd just be meeting up at home finally, talking online when he's just waking up about to do his normal battle shit, and I'm just going to sleep after having like a night that he would just dream for at that time.
Right.
And he would just
your
tell
average.
me this. Yeah, I'm like fucking, I'm talking to girls, drinking beers freely in my country. And
I just shot 3 Arabs. Like,
yeah, he's like, dude,
I'm sitting here trying to sleep, having a hard time.
He'd literally tell me, he's like, yeah, I just trekked back to like our central command post, or I don't know the right terminology, but it is fucking 32 clicks or 32 miles, and it was a gunfight the whole time, and fucking 4 feet of snow in Iraq's mountains. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm trying to comprehend this. I'm like, I've been talking to girls and drinking fucking whiskeys all night. I'm so sorry,
No, yeah, when Jared said he's going to come back on eventually, I think it's like there's like a 6 or 7 year statute that like lets you not talk about these things. He says after that happens, we can come back on, and it'll be.
I'll have to we'll see if we have to get if I ever come back on, see if I have to get my
dude.
my
I've
buddy.
Had at least 3 of my guests have
sniper.
came on again. It's not something that I am frowned upon. Dude, if you ever want to come back on, you can tell me. You'd be like, hey, dude, I'm ready to do
It would be a good conference call to call up my buddy and just be like, hey, yeah.
No, I did that
because now I think about it, like. Dude, I'd lived pretty comfortably. I went around my lifestyle and kind of like lived my life. I thought about joining the military, but like he gave up everything for that shit. He's still in it. Has a beautiful family now. He's married. And
right. So 3 episodes ago, we had actually 2 people on, me, one other person, and then I had a 3rd person on the phone. Yeah. I
I have the soundboard, bro. I can do all kinds of shit. So
Oh,
if you want to have
shit.
somebody come on, we do a mobile cast.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
We
all
can do
day.
that.
So if he wants to come on, all we do is see this right here. I plug your phone to that motherfucker right there, and he's in the podcast, bro.
He would enjoy that. I'm sure he would.
It's cool, dude.
man.
I've done multiple because all you gotta do is you put your phone right here, and a good iPhone, it'll pick up the sound for me and you talking right here.
Perfect.
You know, so
Perfect.
it's just having a speakerphone conversation with a good friend. So right when BLM hit all that crazy shit with all the protests, me and you went downtown and had that.
Oh right. Yeah, that was dude. We're walking through the streets. They're like, we literally just walked in through like a mob. We're like,
we walked out of a bar into a mob, but we had to agree
Yeah,
with
and
everything
then-
that was happening.
Yeah, we had to. Well, you know, I did agree with a lot of it. I was just like, you know, it's, you know,
But at the
there's time
time,
and place.
they could have been protesting somebody being fucking
no,
killed, and we would have like, cool. But we just walked out of a bar.
And then I saw like one of my old coworkers. I'm like, oh DJ, oh thank God, we do stuff together.
Yeah, to be fair, everything going on we agree with, all of that. But
Yeah,
the
100%.
situation we were in, we walked out of a bar with a mob of 100 people.
Well, with everything
and
going on, it's like,
real quick. We walked out of a bar, and then a fucking protest of 100 people, literally the second we walked out, interjected our path to our car.
oh yeah.
So we had to walk through not just the beginning, but to the end of the mob. So we had to walk through it.
Oh,
that being
100%.
said, whatever the fuck they were talking about was in our best interest to agree with.
Oh, 100%. Like
But
I've seen
just
what's
so
happened.
happens we both agree with the Black Lives
Right.
Matter movement. We were like super into it. But I just have a fun thing to say, and that is, if I did disagree, what the fuck would you think I was said in that moment?
Honestly,
Not a single thing.
no,
to
I think you would have just
disagree.
kept your head down and just kept
Yep.
fucking walking. you
Yep.
know? Honestly,
Or no, I would have said, yeah! Just like, because, dude, fuck, dude. Like, dude, that was a mob of a lot of people. You walked out and like,
yeah, I mean, it's 100 people against 2. Well, it's not
I was
even
aware-
against.
I
It
was
was
aware
just
of
like
what was
we kind
happening.
of just like walked out, and I looked up. I'm like, oh shit, this is about to happen. I'm like, you know, with everything's going on, and it's like, you know, you really don't know what you're gonna be dealt with, so you kind of just like roll into it. Like, all right, let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best.
Thankfully,
like,
I was aware of what was going on in the world, and I agreed. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Amen to you guys.
yeah, I mean,
but
what's going on? It's like
The
you know,
crazy
it's-
thing is, to be 100% honest, in the situation we were in, we could have had no idea what they were protesting about, and walked out of that bar and been like,
Well, that's that's the unfortunate thing
scary.
because
It was very scary.
it has happened to a lot of people
It is
in
very scary.
our daily culture. Like people just like walk down the wrong street and they're like, "Holy shit! I didn't realize I was totally getting myself in this situation." A lot of people have been knocked out cold, you know, beaten unconscious, and just like that,
just for being white too, they have been beaten
and
up.
we had just walked out and it's like, guess what? We could have just had a normal conversation and one person caught the wrong end of it, and then
And
we
then
have
start-
100 people
even
on
if
us.
it
and I'm
wasn't
like,
even
wait a
about
second, it's not
their-
even.
it
Yeah,
wasn't-
it's not
yeah.
even what was happening. It's not even. And I've seen people like, I saw this. You know, I don't know the whole situation, and I don't know the whole background story, but I did see this one video of this younger girl just sitting on a bus stop, and she got hit about 6 or 7 times, and she didn't say a word. She just stood there. Maybe she was just like so shocked by it. She didn't know what to do. She didn't want to, you know. She got hit 6 or 7 different times, and it was like a mob of people, and I'm like, well,
Because one person sees them hit
yeah.
her, and they don't
then
ask.
Everyone wants to jump in, and they don't know the story. And it's like, hey, wait, dude, it's
He said, "Please don't
got-
hurt me," and then
yeah.
all of a sudden, one guy punched him,
It's
then
like-
19 other people hit him.
yeah, it's like, wait a second, what are we even doing in today's society and culture? Like, are we even taking care of the people that took care of us when we were kids? No, we're you know.
That's what sucks to
It's a
see.
sad
This
thing.
whole thing is so amazing. This is a movement. This is an amazing movement. People are making changes in the world right now, and we
Yeah.
are a part of it. And I am 100% involved, respected, and into this.
It's pretty.
And it's also really sad to see what's going on right now with some of the smaller things. Like there's some people like we just both said, hey, there was a mob that walked by and this person literally didn't say something wrong, but one person from the mob may have decided to start something.
Well, that's
Which
all
sucks.
it takes. It just takes a
It
small
takes
trigger
one click,
thing.
one trigger. So
My
that's-
thing is, I hate that people today, they're too busy being Republican or Democrat to realize they stopped being a decent person a long time ago.
Right.
Because of that perspective.
Your agenda is more important than your
Oh,
personality.
I'm so Democrat. I'm so Republican. Oh, fuck everyone else's feelings. No, like you stop being a
You're a
decent
person before you're both
long
of those.
time ago.
You're a
and,
human
you know,
before you're a Democrat. You're a human before you're a
Yeah,
Republican. You're a
you know
human
what?
before
we
you're
need to get rid
libertarian.
of the two-party system.
Before you're, well, if I was
It's a
to
disgrace
identify
for our
myself
country.
as one of those parties, I would put myself in a libertarian with a heavy Republican standpoint. I'm libertarian, but I can agree with a lot of Republican.
I just say I'm a hybrid. I'm
That's
something
well,
that
okay.
you
I
know,
have to.
I'm
Dude,
a mix between all.
I have a podcast. I can't just like be like, blah, 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 blah,
Right,
You
right.
know, like if people are gonna listen to this, I have to stand by what I am, and what
If you
I
don't
am
stand
is
for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah, exactly. And what I would say that I am on the top of everything, like push come to shove, I'm a libertarian with a Idahoan base. I've grown up and born and raised, so I can't not lie at the fact that I grew up here and that pushes some of my political standpoint.
Right.
But I do feel like having a government is really hard to have. You know, and I
Definitely
agree with having
challenging.
yeah, I agree with the Libertarian Party a lot. I see their standpoint on how, oh my God, I don't want to be governed. I don't want this. I don't want that. But right now, we have to be governed. There's
Oh, yeah.
okay, you can be libertarian. You can be like, fuck being governed, all this and that. But at the end of the day, we right now have something that's going on. What's going on is there's fucking a party or two, and I lean red.
Right.
And that's where I stand. You know, I'm libertarian
Yeah, I don't
with a
blame you.
red bias. Like, I'm close to red.
Quick little side note. What'd you think about Karen and Ken in on the front porch and defending
guns?
their property?
Was that what that was?
Yeah. I thought
that was just a meme. Like, I thought, like...
No, that's a genuine thing. Like,
Because I
the
saw
mob
one that was like,
broke
I'm manager
through.
now.
Well, I saw a lot of people, especially a lot of people that are business owners and managers of the establishments downtown that like criticize these people, and really criticize them for defending their property and their home. But I also saw posts of these same individuals saying, "Oh, someone was outside of my property, and here's a picture of them." It's like, well, wait a second, you want to have your
belong
cake
to
and
the-
eat it at the same time? What do you really want here? Because if people were walking onto your private property, are you gonna just allow them to walk in?
Hard no.
No, absolutely not, dude. You have to protect your home.
I'm glad you got a phone and taking
Um,
pictures of me doing it. But
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? If I had a established area that was gated off, and people forcefully moved into this area, I would try to defend the place I sleep at night, to the extent where they did. They showed, hey, we're here to protect ourselves. We're not firing random weapons into the air. We're not, I'm sorry, if you have 150, 200 people walking through your yard, you're going to start thinking a little different too. And the fact that people are,
well, think of Waco, and then there's Ruby Ridge, Idaho. Did you ever hear of Ruby Ridge, Idaho?
100%.
You have. So, Idaho is just as bad as anywhere else.
If you're
But
going to
let me ask you
criticize
this,
this, don't post pictures of someone standing in front of your door and say, oh, this person's in front of my door, and then be like, oh, you can walk through our neighborhood.
Right.
You're being a hypocrite.
Where was that taken, that picture? Like, the Karen in the can, whatever.
I believe it was in St. Louis in a upper scale neighborhood
Okay,
that
fuck
led
you.
to
If
the
we're in
mayor's.
St. Louis, you pull up to my goddamn house, I'm gonna pull my guns out
I'm just
on
saying,
you.
if I work in if I live in a private residential area and people forcibly break through the gates and then just march through the streets and on private property, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to defend the place where
I'm gonna put a
I
presence.
sleep, and I'm gonna defend the place that my family sleeps. And if you think otherwise, then, you know,
Period.
I hate to say it, you know.
Hey,
Let me walk through your house and, you know, take stuff out of your cupboard and see how you feel, bud.
we live in Idaho. There's a reason why there's only 2 states in this entire fucking 50-state American beauty that we have. That on the Waco show, there was Waco, Texas, and Ruby Ridge, Idaho.
Yeah.
There is 2 fucking places
Where they shot his wife, and
they did. But goddamn, tell you what, you know, they had a full militia.
Yeah,
They had a
100%.
full.
The FBI
Just think about, hold on,
fucked that up.
real quick. Think about this. They had a full militia against this guy because he is just a single fucking family.
Yep.
One man with one family in the mountains of Idaho that they had to bring an entire militia to bring down. Think about the entire state, guys.
Yeah.
We are a public podcast. Everybody hears this. All I have to say is Idaho and Texas are really 2 places that you cannot fight the fact that we like our guns.
Well, we just have a different respect for, I think, you know, the culture.
Self-protection.
And our country, you know. No matter what, I mean, you can look back into history and you can criticize, you know, America and where it's come from. But if you look at every great civilization, they had to take something from someone else.
And we
You
ain't
know.
gonna have nothing taken from us.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, you know, I feel like America's great. Why? Because it's a melting pot. It's made over different cultures, organizations, different people, different dialects, different everything. That's what makes
And
us
just different
great.
perspectives.
Once we start trying to divide us in different sects, different races, different everything, that's where the race becomes. Because if you think about it, we're all one, right? We're all one country. All right, so let's think as one country. Let's stop thinking as, oh, this is black, this is white, this is Latino. No, we're all one.
We're
all-
America. We're one fucking
We're all
country.
one. And once people stop dividing us in different categories, in different sects, different cultures, then racism will leave, because we'll be united. We'll be not individuals.
We'll be one.
Yeah,
We'll be one.
be a solid country. You know,
I
we have to
believe you.
get that. We have to get past that point where we stop categorizing. You know,
Black
people.
rights, every
yeah,
rights. Just
no, we're one.
American rights. We're
Yeah.
everybody. We
Guess
love
what?
each other.
What's best for our country should be best for every individual, and that's where equality comes in. We have to treat me just like you, just like Joe Bob down the
Right.
street.
We do have to give respect to the black community for the fact, you know.
100%. They've gone through so much, and you know.
Yeah, we do. We have to give them that respect. But, you know, like, I do agree so much with what you're saying on the premise of just, dude, we're all just one big entity here. We're
Yeah,
America.
Let's act like a family, because that's all.
Because
it is.
we all need each
we
other.
all live in the same place.
Black
the
Lives
same
Matter
place.
needs the homeboys from
Well,
down south to come
Well,
in.
if we don't,
Everybody needs to come together.
recognize that, we don't move forward on that
Period.
action, then nothing's gonna change. So
Agreed.
we all need to come together and realize, hey, this is not okay. And the only way that we're gonna change that is if we all stick together.
Right on.
But we all need to realize we're all in this together. It's not you against me. It's not them against them. We're in this together. So if we're gonna make a change, we're gonna stick together, move forward as a unit, and progress. And
Amen.
go from there.
I don't think there's another word that I can say to end this podcast any better than the way Brandon White just put it.
My
We gotta
guy.
stick together as a community, as a family, and as a country. Guys, we're going through a lot right now, but there's one thing we can do is we can do it together.
Absolutely. I dig that, man.
Do it together.
It's been a wonderful time. I appreciate you bringing me on here, man.
Thank you so much, my man Brandon White. This has been episode 18 of the Young Blood Podcast, guys. Yee-hee. Again, if you do search me on any social media, we are on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The Young Blood Podcast. Fuck you, just kidding. There's no the Young Blood Podcast. YoungBloodPodcast. All on word. Please, guys, we are on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all those in between.
Hopefully
follow.
Facebook soon.
We'll make a Facebook soon, my guy. Thank you so much for checking in. This has been episode 18. Good night.